Minister,
you're coming too. Get everyone.
Count Corley, on behalf of my group, I think it's a shame that neither the Taoiseach nor Taoiseach could turn up today after our recess. I think it tells a lot what you think of this House. I want to raise the serious issue in relation to the Gardaí, and we want to debate on this issue in this House. Almost 99%, almost unanimous of the GRA members voted no confidence in the Commissioner. And he's still stubbornly, supported by you, Minister McEntee, going ahead with the sixth, with the extra roster, which is going to have 20% less Gardaí in any station, in any place. It effectively means there'll be areas in the country and cities and towns with no cover whatsoever. Disbanding of drug units, disbanding of community policing, which is happening in Clonmel as I speak, disbanding of special units to fill up a paper exercise where the Chief Superintendent in Tipperary and Clare now filled out a paper box ticking exercise that he has Gardaí to fill this roster when he hasn't, and he knows he hasn't, and the public are alarmed and Gardaí's lives are being put in danger by this Commissioner. It's reckless.
Deputy Shortall.
Count I'd like to shed some light on the issues that have been raised, if I can. I know the Minister for Health isn't here. I've been in contact with him, and he's more than willing to make himself available early next week at the earliest opportunity to take questions in the Dáil. I don't think he's going to be able to be back by tomorrow, given the commitments that he's already given in New York, but he is anxious to be back to answer questions. But I'd like to answer some of those questions if I can now, particularly the issue of the reports. Firstly, I want to extend my sympathy to patients and many of the families that have been impacted, but I am more than aware that they're not looking for sympathy from me, they're looking for answers. Some of the parents that I've heard speak on media in the last 48 hours have used terms like sickened, disgusted, angry, but perhaps most importantly frightened in terms of the treatment that their children may have received. And we have an obligation now to, as comprehensively as we can, put all of the information in the public domain and to work with families to make sure that we forge a way forward that gives them reassurance. A comprehensive patient safety review and assurance process overseen by the HSE and its Chief Clinical Officer, Dr. Colm Henry, is now underway at Temple Street into elements of the paediatric orthopaedic surgery service there. The HSE has commissioned a UK expert, Mr. Nayagam, who's from the hospital in Liverpool, to lead an external review following identification of a number of specific clinical and patient safety concerns. These concerns related to clinical outcomes of some complex spinal surgery, including what appears to be a higher than normal incidence of post-operative complications and infections and 2 serious surgical incidents. It's important to say that we do not have all the facts at this point in time, but we do need to establish them. That is what this external review will do, and the Medical Council will also be involved. There have been 2 key reports by CHI to date that have been referred to by the deputies. One internal and one external, completed by Boston Children's Hospital. Neither has been published. Instead, CHI published a combined report, which is CHI's interpretation of the 2 existing reports. I don't believe that that's good enough, and nor does the government. And the government has insisted that CHI publish both reports in full, and they will do so. I hope as soon as today, but if not today, certainly very shortly after, but I hope that will happen this evening.
Thank you, Minister.
In addition, can I just say, the Minister for Health has asked that the external reviewer looks at the wider paediatric orthopaedic service and looks at governance and other operational matters across the entire service. The Minister will be meeting with the reviewer, Mr. Nayagam, shortly, and Mr. Nayagam will also, of course, be meeting with patients' representatives and families before we proceed further.
Deputy Pringle, you wanted to come in very brief. Deputy Pringle. Wait,
sorry, on the guards, Deputy, if I could answer. Sorry, I'll be much briefer on this, Deputy. Yeah. On the guards, the Commissioner is meeting the Garda representative bodies tomorrow. And I hope we'll be able to make some progress on the roster issue leading from those meetings.